So as not to embarrass my comrades, I suppress an encounter with the grand domestic fantasy of loft living on the vestigial tale of Queens. Up 5 stories, slatted blinds rebuke the ideal life one thinks one is living in a trash street. Oh, a patch of lawn, if that is this, municipal rug of blade and clod, laid by carelessly. Late Robert Moses assails us with so many new objects. One thinks, oh, a crescent moon, and it is nothing but on-ramp, beheld improperly. Many thousands of feathers, known to me only as the feathers of a quill pen. More likely that image of feather on Latia's forearm germinates, to become also the pattern of feathers on silk leggings we admire. These feathers I have hung on the white van of our progressive imagination, have made myself a driverless totem. Let us not then parade barf bag wisdoms, disrespecting our vision like that. Only to discover a previous triangulation error has led away, after all, from restful hormone vacation, that in the dollar van was only lust. For I was between the naked thighs of a middle-aged star of the silver screen, towed in the wake of his walking, where I confirmed the athletic socks he wore as in fact synthetic, such as are necessary for serious work. My sister was a blue goddess bureaucrat whose strict standard governed our intricate course. Patterned movements unapproved by her were halted. I felt my husband's hand on my knee, only to become doubly paranoid. Clearly the screw was me, but the jaws were multiple, more at least than 2. I dangled lonely in the van beneath the scrotum of Jeff Daniels. It is the cause, my soul. Insurgent voltage shot through me at some depth, like the charge of an egg dropped. You have the feel for it so much. In its power you grow stupider until who knows when. I am so tired, Lord, of these pains. Call me a woman to brush me all over. Rest me from any who would take my blood, even though I put my vein out like a hoe. Your night messages fucked me up last night and well into today. Let's be super careful with each other for a minute, if you don't mind. I would like to give you exactly what you want. Title: Tiny sonnet before bed after several missives sent in confusion, changes of hearts, careful examination of the words. Motherhood is a state of hypervigilance. Open arms gathering all so wide to hold everyone horizontally growing, this way, flat in this way, capturing each pellet stream. Danger, failure to possess, holding what cannot be held. Natural, weightless impact of pressure in tons. Separate, prostrate time, the weather of whales, appetites. A thin sliver of wax or wood between one time and another. What is the impact between one time and another? More time and more succeeding separations. Caroling, he is coming. Of the long poem, I had said there could be a sacred text, a sacred accompanying text, unreadable but for its having been written and erased. But how to establish secrecy? Not undiscovered nor buried, then unearthed. Its paradigm is the burning bush. Psychosis, material, madness of cause. There must, I'm saying, be a listener, also mad, ready with testimony to extinguish doubt. There must be witness and whispering and uncreated objects that have not been touched except by these 2. The primary position taken by me as against the secondary position, the backward, the prone, that is the point. The point being to run down the arbiters of licensing with the demand for pictures. Show me an image of your perfect listener. Deep sound, Trash musicality, folklore of the herd, remnant of the flightlessly flapped wing, I forbid. I forbid pathos and contrast, forbid that too, me in the primary position. If we have failed to prosper, or rather to become prosperous in the sense that one earns silence on the federal holiday of one's choice, if we failed in that, in prospering according to proper functions of the glands and of capital, it is called poverty. In the above example of hypotaxis, weren't you her man of opportunity, so-called prospering? I write in secret to extend the attention for channeling, going on without recourse to interpretable phrases, games such as pinnacle or attention in retreat. Secrecy shreds attention, makes for it unlikely perforations, so little gasps illustrate folded, one word over another. One is inside the other's attention, or conceptual field. You bring attention inside, in the way of, by way of, secreting in a dump hotel, where everyone would be looking, but for the proliferation of dumps, your key witness. Nicole Eisenman, I need you to make a picture. Nicole, I saw you at the church and need your help. I think it's important to record relaxing's long-term distortions. My legs are slightly bowed, not from doing anything, so that's immaterial. What about this gappy thing between my thighs? There's something wrong with my hips. They're stuck or something. I mean, they get stuck when I move, so that there's an arc in trying to move forward, so that every forward movement involves a circle that was not there before. When I bend over completely, my groin is released in such a way. I feel the turning of the ball of the joint in such a way that I imagine my hip joints as padded with cork. There's a softness such as was not there, a soft hold that was not there in the groin, which is related to the gappy hips. My boobs are ruined and ought to be painted as soon as possible, as I cannot say whether they're ugly or beautiful. They're a ruin. So how do you show them, or what do you do about change of that nature, where overnight you were one thing, and then unimaginable punishments, and then you were out of that? Even if you're not religious or a very small child, I think you need a picture showing this kind of bodily rage. Although I admire certain aspects or angles of what I now see as the brutal ending of a formerly powerful ass. In the way I'm eating, which cannot be pictured but might be symbolically pictured, or I pick up and secretly eat carbohydrates I load in ways previously revolting to me, as my fear of obesity is intense, everlasting, and earned. I think my digestion is ugly. Returning to the privations of the past is tough despite years of trouble. Sacrifice of blood blisters under the toenails, I sweated this muscle in a modern way with only moderate success. The limp is runner's knee. Then let this book be a glory hole. I will lay on you the time my period returns and I spend all day shamed by thought that would not be jammed through anything. Fuck my thinking, it's so undisciplined. I think and feel embarrassed and cannot stop sneaking around in my imagination, looking for ways to commit adultery in a thoroughly surveilled world. Or rather to put myself in a psychological space where I would be myself again, no one's wife, and do what I want. Frankly, I'm jammed up even in fantasy, which seems too effortful, and for the birds in the 1970s sense of being for the birds. All Mary Tyler Moore and the adults secretly tooting away at parties. Children of the age of AIDS, we learned. On the mercy of the book, I placed this accursed thing. Thanks.